What up, everybody? It's your boy Ash, guys, and I'm coming to you guys today with a One Piece discussion video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about the top 10 strongest Zoan Devil Fruit users in One Piece. In my opinion, guys, here we are currently in the Zoan arc, guys. Here, the Wano Kuni arc is all about the Zoan types here. Obviously, Kaido is the Beast Pirates captain, so there's Zoan Devil Fruit users everywhere. We just got the reveal of all the Topiropo's Devil Fruits. So if you're not caught up to chapter 998, guys, go read it, go catch up, then come back and watch this video. But so I don't want to spoil you, so spoilers, guys. But I'm gonna jump right in. So this is my list of the top 10 Zoan Devil Fruit users in all of One Piece, from 10 to 1 that I think are the strongest in the entire series, guys. So my list is probably going to be a little controversial. There are some people off the list that I just don't think deserve to be on the list, to be honest. So let's jump right into it, guys. Here, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell. Top 10 strongest Zoan Devil Fruit users. And I'm going to start at number 10. So my number 10, guys, is the Tori no Mi model albatross user, Morgans. I wanted to start this list off so badly with Morgans, guys, and I just decided to do it. We saw Morgans show off some impressive feats. He's obviously not scared of a lot. He was at the Whole Cake Island Chateau. He walked in there like a boss, just taking photos of everything. Shit got real. The cake is starting to fall, and he's just like, boop, 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 taking pictures of everything. So Morgans is a gangster through and through. He is a boss. I love Morgans. And I expected Morgans to be just kind of like, just a weak kind of photo character that sits in the background, does the tabloids, doesn't get involved with actual combat. But we saw that that's not true. When someone invaded his factory, he whooped ass, guys. He whooped some ass. That CP user or the government official that showed up in disguise was like, you can't take that photo or you take down that story. And Morgan's like, please, boy, and whooped him, beat him to a pulp. So Morgans is no one to mess with, guys. He's strong. He's got some physical might. Now, he may not be the strongest character ever, but for a Devil Fruit user and a bird type especially, guys, and we don't even know if he can fly. We haven't seen much from Morgans yet, so this is a lot of speculation just based on the one fight that we saw him have. We didn't really get to see him. We saw that he put up his dukes, and the next thing we know, dude is on the floor. So Morgans, no one to scoff at. He's obviously very strong. So I had to put him on the list because everyone loves Morgans. We all love big news Morgans. So I had to put big news Morgans at number 10 on my list, guys. So I'm going to go through pretty quick. I'm not going to take too much time because I don't want this video to last like 25 minutes. So I'm going to go through pretty quick. Let's jump to number 9. So number 9 is going to be, I'm going to try to say their Devil Fruit name. So I'm saying, making sure I say it right. The Kumo no Mi model user Tarantula. This is going to be Unigomo. So Unigomo is the only vice captain I put on this list. And I went back and forth between Unigomo and Dalmatian, guys. And we all love Dalmatian. But when I thought about it and I went back and kind of watched the episodes that they're in, I just think Unigomo is more of a presence, has more of a like, oh shit, let's not mess with him kind of presence than Dalmatian. Dalmatian is awesome. I feel like I would get along with Dalmatian a lot because I'm a dog guy. I would love just to spend time with Dalmatian. But whenever I look at Unigomo and the fact that he was able to like kind of take on Marco and the other members of the Whitebeard Pirates, I think Unigomo is going to be strong. And the spider fruit with all 8 of his arms, man, I think that's such a feat. I think he poses a huge threat from the vice admirals. And obviously he's probably not the strongest vice admiral, but from Zoan user types, I think he's the strongest of the Zoan's users. And he's probably one of the top 3 vice admirals, not including Garp, because we know Garp is on some other shit. He's already like one of the top 5 strongest Marines ever, guys. If not like top 2, him and Kong. So Unigomo was number 9 for me. I just love his Devil Fruit. I think he has a variety of moves. Obviously, we haven't seen much of anything from Unigomo. So again, this is a little bit of speculation, but I think if Unigomo went all out using his 8 arms, obviously with hockey as well, he probably has observation and not conquerors, but armament and hockey. So to combine that with 8 arms, with his knowledge and his strength and his savvy as being a vice admiral, and he's got some age to him. He's not like super old as far as we know, but he's got some wisdom under his belt. So I think Unigomo poses a threat, and I think any character that went up against him would have a fight on his hands. And obviously, I think he's an awesome character. So Unigomo would be number 9. Again, I don't have much to go on because we haven't seen much from Unigomo, and we don't even have the official name of his devil fruits. We haven't gotten an Oda box, but we know it's a spider fruit, so I just went based on Black Maria's fruit that we got. So Kumo no Mi model tarantula is what I'm assuming he has. That's just my best guess. But Unigomo, Vice Admiral would be my number 9, guys. So I'm really enjoying this list. I had a great time going through it, but it took me a while. There's a lot of more devil fruit users, Zoan Devil users than I thought. But let's move on to number 8, Number 8 in my list is going to be Katarina Davon, Inu no Mi, the dog fruit model 9-tailed fox. Now, this devil fruit, guys, is broken. So broken. We've only seen it once, and it was when Moria attacked Blackbeard's Pirate Paradise Island, and we saw her use it disguised as one of Moria's crew members. And I can't remember the lion guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. The guy who can go invisible, who groped Nami. He's dead. He deserved to die for groping Nami. So, but she was disguised as him. So the 9-tailed fox power allows you to disguise yourself or transform into either people you've seen or have had contact with. So she's able to kind of like hide herself and be other people, which is super broken. This is even more broken than number 2's face swapping ability, where he could swap his face, his voice, and his body into someone else. And we saw this when he used it with Nami, where he changed his face and opened his shirt, and Nami beat the crap out of him because he just saw Nami's body on his. So very funny, super useful devil fruit. And obviously Katarina Davon is a threat. For her to be on level 6 impelled down means she's done some shit, some really bad shit. She goes around and beheads beautiful women because they're more beautiful than her. So by the time her goal is done, all the beautiful women, she would be dead, and it'd be Katarina Davon. I mean, the slim pickings. So, but Katarina Davon obviously can hold her own. She's a big time pirate under the Blackbeard crew. And now with the devil fruit that allows her to transform into anyone and take their form, makes her a huge threat because she can infiltrate any crew at any point and no one would know. Unless you really know, maybe like the Straw Hats would know because they've been together so long, but I mean, that makes her a threat. And she's probably the one that's giving Blackbeard all the information. If she can just turn into people, she can infiltrate Whole Cake Island or Zoe or wherever it is and get information disguised as someone else. And as long as she doesn't run into that other person or someone who just saw that person, she's golden. No one's gonna know because her devil fruit is that good. So Katarina Davon, number 8, guys. Her devil fruit is so broken. Obviously, she's a really strong pirate. We know that. So going together, that's gonna be a deadly combination going forward. So she had to be on the list. She's my number 8. Let's move on. Number 7, I put the ox fruit model giraffe, guys, here. Let me say it in the Japanese version. It's the Ushi no Mi model giraffe. It's gonna be Kaku. So we haven't seen Kaku since the Impel Down arc, not Impel Down. In East Lobby? Yeah, that's right. Oh man, now I'm blanking. I'm pretty sure it's in East Lobby. So we haven't seen him since then in his fight with Zoro. Obviously Zoro defeated him, but I don't hold that against him. I think CP9 was underusing their abilities. And now that they're under CP0 and have gone under training, they kind of saw where they were lacking. Kaku is strong. And I think with his ox fruit, model giraffe, and his 4 sword style, I think Kaku under training under CP0 has gotten much stronger. And I think he's gonna show that at some point when they come back into the story, if they come back into the story. We don't know, but we know for sure that Kaku is under Rob Lucci and CP0 now because we saw him dressed in the all white. So that's really cool, but I think Kaku's a super cool character. And I think him with his training and his devil fruit will actually pose a huge threat. We saw that he put Zoro through the ringer in a good fight. And if he masters that devil fruit is strong. It's got a lot of power behind it. Obviously, the giraffe is a huge animal, and using that with his sword style, I think he's going to be extremely powerful. Obviously, he's very agile and quick with his devil fruit, so I think he'll pose a huge threat in the future. Now, if he's going to have hockey, especially armament hockey and observation hockey, I believe they had observation hockey, but definitely adding armament hockey to his repertoire, I think Kaku's going to be one of the stronger Zoan Devil Fruit users going forward, especially with CP0's training. And him and Rob Lucci obviously are one of the strongest Marines that are around. I think those two are really badass, and I just love Kaku's speed and agility. I think he's going to be a tough matchup for most characters that would go up against him. So obviously we don't know much about Kaku right now. We haven't seen him in a good long time, so I'm hoping that CP9 members, the old CP9 members, come back into the story. They get to have a bout with the Straw Hats or someone else, maybe the Blackbeard Pirates or someone on Wano Kuni. I think that'd be really cool to see these guys come back, kind of show the results of their training. And I think Kaku is going to show up and show out. I think Kaku has a lot of potential, especially with his devil fruit. So I put Kaku at number 7. I think he's ranked really high. I do. I really think I put him way too high. He could have been number 9 under Morgan's, but I think Kaku with Rob Lucci training together, I think they are going to make a huge jump. So I put him at number 7. I think that's a good spot for him for now, at least. So let's keep going. I know like the list is tiny. People are like, okay, guys, where are the dinosaurs? You'll have to find out. So number 6, you get your dinosaur, guys. Number 6, I put Queen. I know. Number 6 is Queen, the Ryunomi model Brachiosaurus, guys. Obviously, Queen is very strong to be one of the, not headliners, but one of the commandments for Kaido, I think is a huge deal. Obviously, Queen, his strength, we've shown that he's a really smart guy. He's a scientist. He works with different diseases and poisons and stuff. Obviously, with the Oni, or the Ice Oni thing that he just put out there now, it's just wild. So Queen is obviously very strong. And we saw that his bout with, who was it, Big Mom, didn't go very well, but I can't imagine a lot of people fighting Big Mom's bout would go very well. But he did knock her out with his Brachio Bomb. So that's a feat in itself. Obviously, the Brachiosaurus is a massive dinosaur, guys. So his power is probably through the roof, guys. He's obviously super, super strong. That comes with his devil fruit. But with his mind, his wisdom, his tenacity to tinker with things, I think his brawn and his brain go really, really well together. And I think he's a huge threat to any pirate that fights him because when he gets into that brachio form, yeah, it's big, yeah, it's kind of clunky, but he uses it in a very unique way that I think people may have trouble fighting against. And especially with his mind, he's smart. So he'll be able to tinker around in a battle and kind of mess with you, and on top of his poison powers and his disease powers that he can throw at you, not powers, but inventions, I should say. He poses a huge threat, but obviously his Brachiosaurus is super, super strong. And I feel like his battle damage, he can take a lot of battle damage in that form. So that was really cool to see. He had a tough fight with Big Mom and Luffy, but I think at the end of the day, he'd come on top in a lot of battles. We're going into this battle, so we'll get to see more from Queen, how he uses his devil fruit. I would love to see his hybrid form. For a lot of these characters, their hybrid form makes a huge difference. So if we get to see what his hybrid form's like, I feel like Queen's hybrid form is going to look super, super weird and funny for some reason. That's just Oda's style. But we'll see. I think his hybrid form may be really cool. And with his brawn, with the Brachiosaurus, he's going to be a tough matchup for probably Sanji, maybe X Drake that's staying there to fight Queen. So we'll find out who's going to fight Queen. But I think whoever it is going to barely make it out of that fight. alive. So I think Queen is a really, really tough out for almost any character that fights him. So Queen is number 6. He had to be up there. So that's my first 5 guys here. We had Morgans, we had Unigomo, we had Katarina Davon, Kaku, and Queen. So let's jump into my top 5. So my top 5, gonna start with who's who. Guys, I know, who's who. I think, personally, who's who is stronger than Queen. I just do. Obviously, the rank within the Beast Pirates doesn't say that. And I understand that. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'll take that. But I think Who's Who is stronger than Queen. I love Who's Who's Devil Fruit. He's the Neko no Mi cat model saber-tooth tiger. And what we know about the carnivorous Zoan Devil Fruits, they're a lot more ruthless, a lot more savage, and bloodthirsty, and I think that'll bode well for Who's Who. He's got this cool, calm demeanor, kind of like Rob Lucci did, but I think when it comes to battle, he's gonna want blood. He's gonna want to kill you. He wants to cut you up, slice you up with those teeth. He's not gonna mess around. We see him in his Devil Fruit form. He's big. He's huge, guys. I didn't think he was gonna be that big. We've seen Rob Lucci in his Devil Fruit form, and it wasn't even close to being that big. It was like normal leopard form, but the saber-tooth tiger, man, is huge. And maybe it just looks unproportionate just based on the way we saw it in that chapter, but he looks like he's 3 times bigger than oh my god, I'm just having a brain fart tonight, guys. Jinbei, there you go. He looks like he's at least 3 times bigger than Jinbei. So I think he's going to be extremely dangerous, and I think Jinbei may need help fighting Who's Who. Who's Who has seen Jinbei in the past, and they may have run into each other before, and Jinbei may have won when Who's Who's younger, but I think Jinbei's going to get a hell of a fight from Who's Who, and I personally think that Jinbei would beat Queen pretty handily. I think so. I think Queen would put up a great fight, but I think Jinbei is stronger than Queen. But I think Jinbei is going to get a fight, a good fight that's going to put Jinbei in dire straits against Who's Who. I really think Who's Who is going to show out to be one of the stronger of the Beast Pirates, and obviously, I think he's the strongest Tobiropo by far. I think Who's Who would take out Drake and the other Tobiropo pretty handily. Black Mirror, all of them. So Who's Who is my number 5. I cannot wait to see the fight between Who's Who and Jinbei. I think that fight is going to be awesome, and I can't wait to see the hybrid form of Who's Who as well. I think the hybrid form is going to look so badass with the teeth. I love Who's Who. He's one of my favorite characters in Wano Kuni by a lot. So I love Who's Who, what he's doing, and the power that he may show, especially being a carnivorous zone user. Oh, I can't wait to see the bloodthirst in his eyes. So let's keep going, guys, because this video is starting to get long. Number 4, another cat user. I talked about him a little bit just before. It's going to be Rob Lucci, guys, here, the Neko no Mi model leopard. So obviously, Rob Lucci, we know Rob Lucci is a badass, guys, here. He, as a carnivorous Devil Fruit user, is bloodthirsty, man. He does not hold back. He loves a good fight, and he will kill you. We know he will kill you 1,000 ways to Sunday. And I think he has to have grown since his fight with Luffy. He's obviously part of CP0. We saw him at wherever it was with under protecting the Celestial Dragons. I can't remember what their kingdom is called at the top of my head, but we saw him have a fight with some other people. And man, guys, I am struggling tonight. I can't remember who he fought, but obviously Rob Lucci has gotten stronger. So that's pretty much the point of this here. He had to develop more hockey skills. He was strong enough to literally kill Luffy. I think Luffy, without his will of D powers, dies in that fight. But Luffy somehow came out on top. I don't think he should have, but obviously he's the main character. He's got to come out on top. But Rob Lucci is one of those characters that you just are scared of. Like, if he's in a fight, you're like, okay, Rob Lucci is going to kill somebody. Rob Lucci is super strong. He's bloodthirsty. He's very smart. He's not going to let you have the upper hand if he has the choice. He's not going to do anything to put himself in danger until he gets into that leopard form and the bloodthirst comes out, and he likes to toy with his food, and that's a cat thing. So I'm sure he's learned his lessons from his fight with Luffy, and he's one of the strongest Marines that there is. He's gonna just put a lot of people in their place, and as a Zoan Devil Fruit user, he's not behind too many people. I think Rob Lucci is extremely strong. He's going to put people in this place, and I think he's going to show out at the end of the story. At some point, he's going to come back, kind of show out a little bit like he did earlier in the story, especially in the Enies Lobby arc, guys. He really showed his strength, his power, and his prowess as being the top of the number 9 unit. So I think Rob Lucci is number 4. I think, has a head over all of the previous zone users that I talked about as well. I just think he's savvy enough to beat all of them, and he's ruthless enough to take them out, no hold bar. So Rob Lucci is going to be my number 4, guys. I think he's just super strong, and I can't wait to see more of him. So let's jump to number 3. Number 3 is going to be the Tori no Mi model Pterodon user King. So my second dinosaur on the list, guys. And I think obviously if I had Queen on there, I'm going to have King on here as well. So he's going to be number 3. He's pretty high up there, guys. And I feel like people are starting to sweat a little bit about in the top of my list. But King is number 3. I love King. I love the Pterodon. The ability to fly, and for some reason he has fire powers out of nowhere. So I think that's a cool combination. But obviously being the top headliner of, not headliner, but the top member of the Beast Pirates obviously shows his strength. He's not anyone to mess around with here. And he's some race that Big Mom wanted that we are not aware of yet, like a Dark Angel race or something here. But he's one of very few. So I'll be excited to know what his race is that gives him the wings, because his angel wings are different than his Pterodon wings. So I don't know what his race is or what the model is, but that may go into his fire powers as well. But as a Zoan Devil Fruit user, Pterodons are, I don't know if I want to say carnivores, but they definitely eat other animals. So he may be one of those bloodthirsty animals that really goes after you. Pterodons are by no means small. So his massive flying ability gives him a huge advantage in most fights here. Being able to use the sky, his fire powers, and I'm sure King is very, very intelligent. At least I hope so. Sometimes we have that where some of the badass characters are just like Ohm from Anel's crew, just like the really like dumb characters, but I don't think King's gonna be like that. Obviously, he's head of the intelligence. Like, he's communicating where everybody is on Wano Kuni. He's letting people know, like, hey, we had this meeting, or bringing people together, like the Toby Roppo that one time. King is working a lot under the cover of Kaido's orders. He's usually in the background kind of formulating where everybody is, what is going on where. So I think King's intelligence, strength, Devil Fruit go along the way of why he is in the position that he is. And I think King is going to show that in his fight with either Zoro or maybe Sanji or someone else, maybe Marco. That would be a really fun fight to see. So I think King is going to show up. I think his intelligence, power are going to speak for themselves, and I cannot wait to see more from him. Obviously, we haven't seen much from him. The most we've seen from him is he knocked the Queen Shanty off the waterfall in his Devil Fruit form, which shows some power, because that's a big ass ship. And for him just to kind of like push it back off the falls, he's strong. He's no one to mess with, and he's got both forms of Haki, if not all 3. We don't know, but for sure 2. He's got Haki, armament, and observation. So I think King is going to be a huge threat to anyone that fights him, and he's going to be a huge fight for someone in the Wano Kuni arc. So King is my number 3. Number 2 is going to be Marco the Phoenix, guys, here. So I just talked about Marco the Phoenix a little bit here. In my top 5 favorite Devil Fruits, I think Marco was number 2 or 3. Number 2 or 3. Top 5. I love the Phoenix Fruit, the Tori no Mi model Phoenix. Guys, the abilities to heal from any wound with fire, the ability to heal others with this fire, to control the heat of the fire, his ability to fly. He's a mythical zone, which makes his fruit rare and also very strong. And he being the top commander of the Whitebeard Pirates shows not only his intelligence, his trustworthiness, and his strength, guys. And he was in the number 1 spot for a long time. As far as we know, he's been in the number 1 spot for a long time. We don't know who was number 1 before, before Marco, but it had to have been some time because Marco was a very young kid on Whitebeard's crew, and he's been in the number one spot as far as we know. And we know that the other spots have shuffled a little bit, but everyone that we've come across respects Marco. Every single person either hates Marco or has recruited Marco, like Shanks did, like, oh, you're Marco from the Whitebeard crew, join my crew. And Marco's like, screw off, no. So if Shanks trusts Marco and even asks Marco to join the crew, man, Marco's got to be something else. And we've seen some feats from Marco, from him kicking one of the admirals down into the floor to all of his feats at Marineford. We've seen a lot from Marco. Now he's on Wano Kuni helping out the Straw Hats. I think Marco's name, his abilities speak for themselves. We've seen a lot from Marco, so I'm not going to go into too much detail because this video is getting kind of long. But Marco is my number 2, guys. I just think his wisdom, his prowess, and his devil fruit ability are too much to leave him anywhere but the top 3, and he lands at number 2 for me, guys. I just love Marco. I think he's so strong, he's so savvy, and he's just a badass character. We love Marco, so Marco is number 2. I just thoroughly enjoy Marco, guys. Comment below. Do you guys love Marco? Let me know. And my number 1 Zoan Devil fruit user, guys, in the entire One Piece story is going to be Sengoku. I know. That's going to take some heat, but the Hito no Mi model Buddha. So I put him on there, obviously, because Sengoku was the fleet admiral, the head of the Marines. That position speaks for itself, guys. We know Sengoku is strong. He's extremely savvy. He's one of the smartest characters in all of One Piece. So it was hard for me to put him anywhere else but number 1. I think he would put every character on this list in their place. Maybe not now since he's retired, but 2 years back, I would still take him over all of these characters. 2 years back, in the Battle of the Best, I'm taking Sengoku over all of these characters. We saw the damage he can do. In his Buddha form, his Buddha shockwave literally almost killed all of the Blackbeard pirates in one shot here. They're all bloodied and beaten, sent them flying away. He was savvy enough to build the circling walls for Whitebeard. He thought about that ahead of time, completely trapped his crew, bombarded them from all sides, just massive casualties. Sengoku's wisdom, his abilities as a Buddha are so cool. And I think that the Buddha abilities gives him the wisdom here, the enlightenment that he got from the Buddha ability. Obviously, he's probably helped him in a lot of different ways. It is said that Sengoku also has all 3 forms of haki. I don't know if that's been confirmed. Let me know in the comments below. Does he have all 3 forms? Conquerors, armament, and observation. I always keep forgetting that one. Observation. So it seems like he has all 3, which makes sense for the position that he's in. For him to have conquerors, he's the leader of men. Obviously, he's well trusted, and his feats in the past are not to be scoffed at. His fight with Shiki, Roger acknowledging him as one of the 2 Marines that he had actually used his time to fight against him and Garp. So obviously Sengoku is well respected, and we know this. He's well respected among everyone in the One Piece world. He's done an amazing job as the fleet admiral. He stepped down, obviously, because of everything that went down at Marineford, and I don't blame him for that. Shit got so real at Marineford, but Sengoku is savvy, strong. For him to hold down Garp, obviously Garp is at an old age and beaten up a little bit, but for him to hold down Garp, and it's like, dude, if you let me go, Garp, or Sengoku, I'm killing everyone. So we know that Sengoku has strength behind him. He's smart, he's wise, and his devil fruit is extremely strong. When he gets into that massive Buddha form, those shockwaves are something else. So he's my number 1. I will talk about the couple people I left off the list. I left Jack off this list. Jack has taken like 6 L's in a row. So I could not put Jack on my list, even behind Morgan's. Now, to be honest, Jack is probably stronger than Morgan's, but I don't trust Jack right now. So Jack is off the list. And Kaido. I know you guys are probably waiting for me to talk about Kaido. Kaido may not be a Zoan Devil fruit user. He just may be a dragon. So I held off putting Kaido on the list because we're not sure. If he's just a dragon that had like the Oni fruit or some kind of other fruit, guys, that puts him in a whole different ballpark. So that probably could still be a zone fruit because it's a transformation fruit. It's a human fruit, probably. So I'd put him at number 1. Kaido would be number 1, and I would bump everybody up 1 spot. So that would be my list. Jack is still staying off, guys. So I'm not messing with Jack. Obviously, all the Toby Roper are honorable mentions. But that's my list, guys, here. And this is almost a 30-minute video. So I didn't think it was going to be that long. I tried to cut it down a little bit. But I had fun making this video, guys. I really enjoyed it. But let me know what you think of this list, guys. Top 10 strongest Zoan Devil Fruit users in the list. There's obviously a lot of Devil Fruit users. So let me know. What's your top 10? What's your top 5? What's your top 3, guys? Comment below with them. What do you think of my list? Do you think my list is on point? Who would you take off the list? Who would you put on? A lot of discussion can come from this, guys. But that's it for me. Comment below, guys. Your boy Ash is out. Back again, One Piece live reaction coming Sunday, $9.99. Don't miss it. Peace. Have a fantastic night.